All right, exam season. The pressure is on, right? But what if you could do way more than just survive it? What we've got here is your complete toolkit for not just getting through your exams, but actually acing them. We're going to show you how to study smarter, not harder, starting right now.
We all know that feeling. You know the drill. The late-night cram sessions, the mountains of notes, that ever-growing ball of stress in your stomach. It feels like the ultimate test of everything you've learned all semester.
But here's where we often get it wrong. We think success is just about knowing the material. The truth is, exams are also a test of how well we manage our bodies, our time, and most importantly, our minds.
So let's totally reframe this whole experience, shall we? We're about to break down the science-backed strategies that will help you prep like a pro, manage that stress, and walk into that exam room feeling confident and ready.
First things first, before you even crack open a textbook, we need to talk about prepping your body. Seriously, think of your brain as this high-performance engine. It needs the right fuel and the right maintenance to run at its absolute best.
And this right here, this trio is completely non-negotiable. I know, it's so tempting to sacrifice sleep or skip a workout for a few more hours of studying, but that is a trap. All the research shows that pulling all-nighters actually wrecks your ability to learn and recall info. Sticking to your regular sleep, exercise, and eating habits isn't a luxury. It's a core part of your study strategy.
And speaking of fuel, what you eat can give you a serious cognitive edge. I'm talking about specific foods that directly impact things like your memory and your focus. For example, the healthy fats in avocados and salmon, they can actually improve your brain function. Almonds are amazing for boosting memory. Blueberries can help you concentrate, and yep, your parents were right all along, the vitamin K in broccoli is crucial for your cognitive processes.
Okay, so your engine's fueled up. Now it's time to actually architect your study plan. Having a solid, well-structured plan is your best defense against that last-minute panic and procrastination.
A fantastic tool for this is the Pomodoro technique. It's so simple but so effective. You basically break your study time into these focused 25-minute sprints, and each one is followed by a short break. This cycle is just brilliant because it works with your brain's natural attention span, not against it. It keeps your energy up and makes tackling huge topics feel way more manageable.
Now, just as important as when you study is how you're taking your notes. The Cornell method has been around since the 1950s for a reason. It's this powerful system for creating notes that are perfectly organized and basically revision ready from the second you write them down.
Okay, so check this out. It looks simple, but it is pure genius. You divide your page into 3 sections. In that big main column on the right, you take your notes like you normally would. Then, a little later, you use the left column to pull out key questions or cues. And at the very bottom, you just jot down a quick summary of the page. So when it's time to study, you can just cover up the right side and quiz yourself with the questions on the left. It's amazing!
All right, this is where we get to the really good stuff. This next section is all about moving beyond just passively reading your notes and learning how to truly embed information deep into your long-term memory.
Okay, if you remember just one thing from this entire explainer, please make it this: active recall. This is the absolute game changer. All it means is actively pulling information out of your brain instead of just passively putting it in. That active retrieval is what builds strong memory pathways. So what does that actually look like? Well, most of us fall into the trap of passive review. You know, things like rereading your notes or highlighting half the textbook. It feels productive, right? But the learning gains are tiny. Active recall, on the other hand, forces your brain to work. This means quizzing yourself, using flashcards, or, my personal favorite, trying to teach the concept to a friend. If you can explain it simply, you know you've got it down.
Want a really powerful way to put active recall into practice? Try the blurting method. Yeah, it sounds a little weird, but trust me, it's intense and incredibly effective. You study a topic for a bit, then hide your notes and literally blurt out everything you can remember onto a blank sheet of paper. Then you check what you missed and fill in the gaps with a different color pen. It immediately shows you exactly where your knowledge is weak.
Now, to really supercharge your recall, you've got to try interleaved practice. So instead of studying in blocks, like all of topic A, then all of topic B, you mix them all up. Now, it's going to feel harder, and that's exactly the point. Forcing your brain to constantly switch gears and retrieve different types of information is the very thing that builds stronger, more flexible, and more durable memories. And finally, let's talk about timing.
Our brains are designed to forget things over time. It's called the forgetting curve. Spaced repetition is a technique that basically hacks that process. By reviewing information at specific, increasing intervals, right around the time you're about to forget it, you systematically interrupt the forgetting process and lock that information into your long-term memory. It's incredibly efficient.
You've done the work. You've prepped your body. You've structured your plan. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, mastering your mindset on exam day itself. This is all about handling that pressure and performing when it counts.
Okay, picture this. You're in the exam room and you feel that anxiety start to creep in. Your heart starts pounding. Here's what you do. Use this simple grounding technique. It pulls your focus out of those spiraling thoughts and back into the present moment by making you engage all 5 senses. It's a super quick, super powerful way to calm your nerves and get back on track. And finally, never ever underestimate your mindset. I know it might sound a little bit fluffy, but having a positive, confident outlook can genuinely reduce performance anxiety. It makes the entire study process feel less like a massive chore and more like a challenge you know you're ready to meet head on. So let's end with this thought. When you use these strategies, when you fuel your body, structure your study, unlock your memory, and master your mindset, an exam stops being this terrifying thing to fear. It actually becomes an opportunity to show everyone and yourself exactly what you're capable of.